Ahead on KGW News at noon, community groups gathered today to push back against the Trump administration's immigration policies. But first.
And here in Salem, state legislatures are on the Senate floor talking about a big transportation funding bill. We'll bring you all the latest. Plus,
a major medical breakthrough for an extremely rare condition with the help of artificial intelligence. Your news at noon starts right now. We begin here at noon with a live look from the House floor where lawmakers have convened yet again in the latest attempt to pass a transportation funding bill. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Petawanich. A bill on the table would save hundreds of jobs and provide funding for road maintenance, but it would raise taxes. Our Thomas Schultz is live for us from the Capitol in Salem. Thomas, bring us up to speed here.
Yeah, well, Christine, we just stepped out of the Senate chambers where House representatives are actually meeting right now. And for the past 2 hours, folks on both sides of the aisle have lobbed reasons why they should or should not pass this bill. Now, this bill would provide $5.8 billion for transportation funding. It would preserve ODOT jobs and be used for road maintenance, but it would raise taxes. Democrats in support of this bill proposed by Governor Tina Kotek say it's a necessary step to keep roads safe and functional. The Republicans have argued the legislature can find funding ODOT needs without increasing taxes on Oregonians.
We are here today because Oregonians cannot wait without action, and we will face immediate and painful consequences. Stations closing and service cuts that will jeopardize Oregonians' safety and disrupt their lives.
It matters that this is a big enough issue that they're standing up for their families and they're asking for us to be creative and they're asking for us to problem solve this in a way that doesn't just say, hey, I want money from you, so open up your wallet.
Through the legislation, payroll taxes would double, increasing by 0.1%. The state's gas tax would hike up by 6 cents. And there would also be a $139 uptick in vehicle title fees, among other charges. Now, if the bill does pass the House, it still needs to pass the state Senate and then be signed into law by Governor Tina Kotek. Of course, that's something that is still up for debate. They are currently convened. The House of Representatives is right now. The state Senate is tentatively planning to convene at 2 p.m. today and vote on this legislation if it passes the House first. Christine?
Yeah, it got off to a bit of a slow start. We'll see if there is resolution, though. Thank you, Thomas. And since we're talking transportation, a really quick heads up here. Today, TriMet buses and the MAX will be running on their Sunday schedules due to the Labor Day holiday. That means buses that don't run on Sundays will not run today. The Portland streetcar will run on its Saturday schedule. And we are also monitoring multiple outages in Northeast Portland. Pacific Power is reporting around 8,000 customers don't have electricity. The outage map you see on your screen lists the cause as emergency repair. Pacific Power estimates service will be back up and running in about a half an hour, around 12:30 or so. Okay, let's check in with meteorologist Rod Hill now. Rod, how's today's forecast? Oh,
yes.
I was going to ask, how is it looking? But it's looking nice.
It is. We started off cloudy. We had high confidence that most of the coast and all of the valley would eventually clear out, and that's what we're seeing take place at this hour. So it's a weather problem-free Labor Day 2025. Partly cloudy skies from Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. 65 degrees, light winds. Well, this has been really a long stretch at this point, day after day of just not seeing much wind, and that's the same situation today. The clearing has been coming into the valley this time around from the west. So here's out in Washington County, the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha, where it's been sunny for a little while. 66 is the temperature. Downtown Portland now also sharing a temperature of 66 degrees with sunny skies. And look at the opening right here over the coastal range. See that just explode open? It's still cloudy areas east valley, out east of I-5. But you folks will get the clearing as well. So assuming we all get the sun, I think we will. We'll be up to about 82 at 4 o'clock and still a nice dry evening for you as well. 7-day forecast warms us up. And Christine, that's coming up.
Yeah, grateful for this beautiful Labor Day holiday. Thank you so much, Rod. But for a quick moment, let's also talk about the wildfires burning in our region. In Central Oregon, the Emigrant Fire burning about 20 miles southeast of Oak Ridge has grown to just over 21,000 acres and is still 0% contained. It's burning in a remote area and has forced several closures in the Willamette National Forest. That includes roads, campsites, hiking trails, and hunting areas. You can find more information on the Forest Service's website. And good news from the flat fire burning near Sisters. It is now 52% contained, and crews are starting to go home. It sparked about 2 weeks ago and has burned more than 23,000 acres. There is still a red flag warning for the area, and level 1 as well as 2 evacuation notices remain in effect. Now to the latest on 2 firefighters detained by U.S. Border Patrol agents while battling a wildfire in Washington. The men are being held at an ICE detention center in Tacoma. Washington Congresswoman Emily Randall, who represents the district where the ICE facility is located, says she was denied entry during an unannounced visit on Saturday. She says officials confirmed they were holding the men. According to a statement from ICE, the Bureau of Land Management had terminated contracts with the firefighting companies after completing an unspecified criminal investigation.
There is no legal authority for them to deny me access to do my oversight duty, but they did. And at a time when this administration is waging a war on immigrants in our communities and folks who look like they might be immigrants, rounding up lab workers and roofers and parents and folks who have been here a long time, many of whom are, checking in with immigration to, make sure that they are following the steps that they should be. We are seeing people just rounded up and disappeared.
Last week, the Department of Homeland Security issued a statement on X saying the men were not firefighters but worked in a support role, cutting logs into firewood. Federal officials have not yet identified the men. An attorney for one of the men says he's been waiting years for legal status and has lived in the U.S. since he was 4 years old. Meanwhile, in Northeast Portland, several community groups held a rally at Glenhaven Park to protest the Trump administration's immigration policies. The Oregon Rising Alliance organized the event and partnered up with several immigrant justice organizations. It was part of a larger coordinated effort by community groups calling for better schools, more affordable living, and immigrant rights, among other things. One of the groups there for the rally was the Portland Association of Teachers.
Regardless of whether you have students in the public school system, if you're a part of a union, we know that we cannot win alone on these big issues. We have to come together. And so this rally is just another action we take as part of Oregon Rising as an alliance to say that we got each other's backs.
After the rally, people joined a bus caravan up to the ICE detention facility in Tacoma, and some demonstrators who stayed in Portland joined a march that began at the Battleship Oregon Memorial at Waterfront Park. Happening right now in Vancouver, employees with the Evergreen School District are holding a rally at Leroy Hagan Park in the Fircrest neighborhood. The rally comes as the start of the school year was delayed even further after the district and union representing classified employees did not meet over the weekend. The district says its bargaining team was ready to negotiate. The union says it also won't be bargaining with the district today or tomorrow, saying the district could not guarantee administrators would not receive extra pay for weekend negotiations. Arceline Stevens will have more on the rally and updates on the bargaining coming up on KGW News at 4. Well, this school year, millions of kids born during the pandemic are now heading into the classroom for the first time as kindergartners. 3.6 million babies were born in the U.S. in 2020 and spent their earliest months in isolation when the pandemic shut down schools, workplaces, and really threw a wrench in daily life. Our Stephanie Domrat interviewed an early childhood education expert on Straight Talk about the pandemic's effects on kids.
I mean, you talk to educators, I talk to my kids' own teachers, but you talk to educators across the state, and there's a lot of emphasis on the social emotional learning. There's a big concern that the big behavior we're seeing in schools is a result of not enough kind of socializing in the younger ages before entering school.
They also talked about specific markers that parents should look out for in K through 3rd grades to help their child succeed later on. You can watch the full episode of Straight Talk here on KGW tonight at 7 or anytime on our free TV app, KGW Plus. Here's a look now at some national headlines this afternoon. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller's family says he's been battling Parkinson's disease. The news comes after the House Oversight Committee subpoenaed him to testify as part of their investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein files. They withdrew their subpoena after learning of the diagnosis. His family says he was originally diagnosed back in 2021. After that, he withdrew from public life and retired less than a year later. And a third man has died while in custody at Rikers Island Jail in New York. Corrections officers were called on Saturday to help the man, but were unable to save him. This marks the third in-custody death at the jail in the last week. That's according to the New York Times. Investigations into all the deaths are ongoing. The Rikers jail has been under federal oversight for roughly a decade now, but this spring, a court ordered an outside official to oversee operations. President Trump has called on pharmaceutical companies to justify their success on their COVID vaccines. In a social media post, the president said Pfizer showed him information detailing the positive effects that vaccines had in stopping the spread of COVID. He then urged the companies to be more transparent to the public about their data. The request comes days after the FDA set new limits on who can get COVID vaccines. And those are your national headlines.